Okay, so this article from CBS News really piqued my interest, and I wanted to discuss it because I thought it was very telling, especially with what's been going on in the news lately, specifically surrounding Russia and Ukraine, and of course, America slash the West in general. So this article from CBS News, the title of the article is "Between Russia and Ukraine, America say either stay out or side with Ukraine." So these are a couple of polls that give us some very interesting information that I want to discuss very briefly. So the article goes as follows. A slight majority of Americans would prefer the U.S. to stay out of any negotiations around the situation with Russia and Ukraine, while those who would take a side say the U.S. should side with Ukraine. They cite stopping further Russian influence in the region and defending democracy as top reasons. The proportion saying that the U.S. should stay out is driven by Republicans and independents, while more Democrats feel the U.S. should side with Ukraine. Meanwhile, President Biden gets mixed marks on his approach toward Russia. So to stay out, 53% support Ukraine, 43% support, and support Russia, 4% support. Democrats and a plurality of independents thinks Mr. Biden's approach is right, while Republicans would prefer the U.S. to stay out of the Russian-Ukraine situation. At the same time, they are critical of Mr. Biden's approach to Russia, with most Republicans calling it too friendly and a quarter calling it too hostile. They overwhelmingly disapprove of how he is handling issues with Russia more broadly. So here it is. It shows you the partisanship here. So Biden's approach to Russia among Democrats, as you see there, 70% say it's about right, 20% say it's too friendly, 10% say it's too hostile. Okay. And we're going to skip over independents and go straight to the Republicans. So they say 16% says about right. Look at that. 59% of Republicans say it's too friendly. I don't even want to ponder upon what the people that said that his approach is too friendly would want to do. There'd probably already be troops on the ground. I mean, you know, if they were the deciding factors in this. But anyway, and then 25% said they're too hostile. Beyond partisanship, there are generational differences as well. And this is what I like about this poll, about these specific polls here. There is more support for U.S. siding with Ukraine among older Americans whose views may be shaped by memories of the Cold War. Younger Americans, particularly those under the age of 30, are inclined to feel the U.S. should stay out of the situation. So this is the incredibly interesting thing to me. So among the age groups, there is this differing opinion about Russia, Ukraine, and this entire situation in general. So among the ages 18 through 29, as you see here, the support to stay out is a very strong majority. And that age group, 18 through 29, and of course you can kind of plug in those that are in their 30s as well, but we'll just stick with the 18 through 29, are overwhelmingly progressive. And as a result, of course, they're mostly anti-war. So you have a strong 61% of 18 through 29-year-olds say stay out. And then you have 33 through 44, 55% say stay out. There's still a majority. 45 through 64 say stay out. And then you have the old heads, 65 and up. They're actually a majority of them would support Ukraine. 61% support Ukraine, only 39% say out. I thought this was amazing. I thought this was amazing because it really shows the generational differences between the two. And, you know, I have to tell you, it's very scary waters, especially considering what's going on right now in this country and trying to up tensions with foreign powers and what have you. Because, you see, when you neglect your general populace the way our government has been doing for such a while, and you throw funding at giving weapons to neo-Nazis in Ukraine, and, you know, you up tensions with foreign powers and give so much money to the military as we do, and you neglect your general populace and don't provide for them the necessary basic needs of life, which we don't in many respects, it creates animosity among them. And they start to resent you. And that's how you spur things like revolutions. I'm not saying that's going to happen in this country, but all I'm saying is it does create animosity among the people and they view you more negatively. But I do think that it was incredibly interesting to see the generational divide among the American people in terms of this issue and what they think we should do. Of course, the youngest people think we should stay out. The older people think that Ukraine should be supported. And to end this conversation, I want to just throw out one more caveat. Who's most likely to watch, or not even most likely, who watches mainstream media? People that are older. You know, your grandmother, your grandpa. Those are the people sitting around watching Fox News, MSNBC, CNN. And what's MSNBC and CNN saying all day, every day? Oh, Putin's Hitler. We got to go stop him, support Ukraine. Well, there you go. There goes that support. You know, the younger people are more inclined to check out independent media, you know, print media, who's more honest than the mainstream national media on television. And they're much more inclined to have their own opinion and figure it out for themselves instead of trying to get their information from some idiot pundit on CNN or MSNBC or Fox or whatever the fuck. So, it shows up here in the polling. But anyway, I thought these polls were incredibly interesting, and they kind of show you where people's ideals and sentiments generally lie.